For the second year running, this event is back in action. From Tulsa, Oklahoma, and the virtual Chili Bowl, this is the 2025 Micro Madness Classic, brought to you by Cherry SimTography. For our second year in a row, Two Fat Guys Sim Racing Promotions is bringing this sprint to kick off December and the Christmas season back to your screens, and tonight, you're watching live on FTN Broadcasting. Welcome to the showdown. We've got heat racing beginning as we speak. We've got 20 drivers registered. I think we're going to be looking at a total of 2 heats tonight to get the ball rolling. 8-lap heats with Mitchell Maynard on the pole for this very first of which. Welcome back to Tulsa. Welcome back to Dirt Racing live on FTN. I'll be your host for tonight's broadcast. I'm David Kreutz, commentating and producing. Tonight is all about making it to the main. Drivers will be going home. We have more than enough to send drivers out of our 18-car starting grid. So, finishing in the top 9 of this heat will automatically lock a driver in. If you're outside of that, if you finish last, you will be going to a consolation race if enough drivers start the second heat. 15 minutes of practice these drivers were given to wear in the track. Mitchell Maynard grabs himself the pole position, and he'll be fighting for the overall top spot when we get going here and now. 8 minutes to complete 8 laps. We're on our way for heat number 1. Maynard quickly going to be passed by Brayton Kajewski. Brayton getting it up into P1 by using the lower groove through these opening portions, and in the first lap and a half, that will get him up in front with 7 laps remaining now. Maynard takes it to the high side while Quentin Murdoch and Shane Pearson look behind. They're double file all the way down with James Williams 10th and last on pit road, which means that all other drivers will advance. Oh, big hit for Maynard! Mitchell Maynard to pit road, and that is going to cost him in big. Watch this. Maynard is still eligible to transfer, but as you can see, he takes a huge hit into the Lucas Oil barrier, and he's going to find himself now out of contention. The yellow flag's out with 4 laps to go. Quentin Murdoch also with trouble as we take a replay on Maynard. Mitchell was poised to start in the pole if he could hang on to the lead. No can do. Big hit there. And the yellow's out for another incident that happened just after that. Watch now with Douglas Owens. Owens got a little loose, and he was behind just as the pack saw the yellow flag. Caution flies. And right now, we are pacing. 4 laps to go. There's Joseph Groom. Quentin Murdoch scored last time by as the leader, and he now finds himself on pit row. Will be recycled is Brayton Kajewski, who leads the way. He took the lead from Maynard. Now finds himself with a shot to go for the overall pole here. Kajewski with the shot off the line. 3 laps remaining in this opening heat. Maynard will still advance. James Williams is in trouble. Oh, look who's in trouble now. Brayton Kajewski up and around. The caution's out. Kajewski with his own problems, and he too will lose the pole position. That hands the lead to Pearson. Watch this. Sliding up. Can't avoid the outside wall and spins around. Luckily, no contact from anyone else. But Pearson now scored as your leader. His first heat only 8 laps long. Wow. Just like that, we've got ourselves quite a lot of trouble. In only 5 laps run, now we got it. 3 laps to go. Make it 2 as Shane Pearson goes around. Pearson looking to take that top spot in the qualifying lineup. Joseph Groom is now behind by 4/10. Can't get there this lap. 1 lap to go. This is it. As long as Pearson hangs on. Saw Maynard have trouble. Saw Kajewski with issues getting in the wall. For Shane Pearson, all he had to do was avoid any trouble, and he will. Pearson grabs the overall pole position with Joseph Groom second, Aaron Witham third, James Burke fourth, Douglas Owens fifth. Michael Meanies will then be P6, and further on down the line, it looks like Maynard, the last to advance in that first heat. We have 20 drivers contending in these two heats, and it looks like now Zachary Martin will lead the second. He'll be fighting for the outside pole position with 8 laps available to him when we go green this time. Just getting things started. This is our first race of the Two Fat Guys Special Event Championship, and this is a series that is going to start right now, of course, and it's going to run us into the spring. We're going to go month after month, and this is the very first test, of course. Two Fat Guys Sim Racing Promotions specializing in these dirt-style races, and Cherry SimTography hopping aboard to help out with putting this first one on. It's the first test of many races that are set to come, and as we go down month after month, you'll see a few of those races with us live on FTN. The next one is with the Dirt Mini Stock at Milleridge Speedway on December 28th. Then after that, the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway, Eldora, and it'll end with a race in March at Lima Land Motorsport Park. Zachary Martin, of course, looking to get the ball rolling. Starting up in the front row, the outside has worked well so far. If he can grab that outside pole, it may pay off in the main feature. Same thing for Logan Rourke. Logan starts in second in this heat. Can he catch up and take that lead? Not off the jump, he can't. Heat 2 starts. Martin with a great jump. Look at the jump off the line as there's trouble further back. Yellow flags out. Take a look. Gary Steele involved. And all the way at the back of the field, Carson Cherry gets away. It's the all-red Andrew Regal with issues. And that was just a shaky getaway, luckily, with no damage. No major damage anyway. Caution's out for safety purposes. It's our first caution of this heat. We saw multiple in our last heat of only 8 laps. So, hopefully that doesn't set the precedent for our main, but drivers are racing hard against each other in these opening runs. Logan Rourke getting a second chance. Zach Martin looking for a second opportunity to what he's done already. Just take the lead. Just keep the lead. It's not easy, but so far, looks like Logan's got a second chance that's a little bit closer. He's really tightened up on the outside. What can you do now? Yes, closer, but not enough. Green flags out again for lap number 2. Zach Martin with a jump off the line, and it's a good one. Zachary going to lead this next lap. No trouble. It's single file all the way down. Tanner Blue and Carson Cherry fighting each other with Andrew Regal off the track and Ricky Thompson. It looks like Thompson is going to be falling out of this one. Andrew Regal is on the cut line. 18 drivers are set to make it to our main. So we'll see what happens here. We don't have enough drivers, I believe, for 3 heats. So that means that this is it. If there's a consolation, well, we'll figure that out. Because right now means every driver will restack and re-rack except for your top 4. So, Thompson is definitely going to the back. Andrew Regal in jeopardy. We'll see who gets out first. Up high is Nicholas Molly looking at Gary Steele. That's for 5th and 6th. But Zach Martin has not been tested all night long. No change in the lead. He started up in front on the inside, and he will finish it just like that. Zachary Martin, dominant, wins Heat 2 over Logan Rourke and Trevor Williams. James Gray, 4th at the line. And Ricky Thompson finishes last 8 laps down. Andrew Regal 6 back. Finishes in the 9th position. Checkered flag falls. And now we move on to our consolation race. So, the top 4 drivers overall, the top 2 in each heat, they will move on, and that gives us 12 laps to see who of these go home. This is going to be perhaps the most interesting race of the night because all but 2 drivers go home. So if you're involved in problems immediately, that's your race. we have just about a perfect opportunity right now for these drivers here to get in. It's almost 100% odds, except it's not. If you're in 15th or 16th right now, Ricky Thompson and James Williams, you're in the worst position possible. Because if you stay there, you're out. 18 drivers are going to make that main. It all begins here, of course, with our B main feature. It's a consolation. Every other driver in the mix, our pole sitter, outside pole sitter, not going to be there. It'll be Aaron Witham and Trevor Williams getting the ball rolling up at the front of the pack. A 12-lap run, just a little bit longer than our heat races of 8. And this will set the majority of the lineup for your 40-lap A-main. The Super Bowl, of course, of dirt racing, the Chili Bowl. This track comes in at only 0.2 of a mile, 4 turns, and 8 pit stalls on iRacing. So a lot of these guys are sharing times on pit road with a track temperature of 74 degrees Fahrenheit. There is no ambient temperature. This track is entirely indoors, and dust is kicked up, but the sunlight doesn't affect it. Drivers are setting those grooves in as the night runs, and where they choose to go makes all the difference. Aaron Witham will get the ball rolling and start things off with 12 laps remaining in your B main. All but 2 will make it on. Right on the outside goes Trevor Williams. And that was a great fundamental pass. Oh, contact Burke up the track, and we've got big trouble. Burke and company cautions out. A fantastic pass from Trevor Williams to get the lead there. But it'll all be for naught as James Burke gets loose and comes up the circuit. A little bit of contact from the 16 of Aaron Witham. Then up the track again and into Nicholas Mawley. And a pileup. The biggest so far of the night, also involving the 226 Carson Cherry. Cherry now running in 11th. 14 drivers opting to start, which means that all those who took the green flag will make it to the A main. However, they're now going to decide their qualifying spacing based on this race. Douglas Owens, right in the middle of the pack. Trevor Williams up and in front as we cycle them all around. There's Quentin Murdoch. Murdoch in the 42 able just to barely get away that trouble. Williams again will start on the outside after getting a nice jump out of lap 1. Yeah, he does it again. Williams, comfortable with the outside, will take the race lead. And take a look now as he uses it to his advantage. Nobody's getting the jumps like Trevor. And now he'll lead the way with 10 laps remaining. Make it 9 so quickly. He's running the fastest laps on the track, and he's doing it by far. Gotta look out now for the rest of the pack here. Can we keep it green? Aaron Witham taking it up to that outer groove, and you can see the darker dirt, the packing coming in up on that high side. Oh, contact. It's going to involve Mitchell Maynard and the 79. Gary Steele cautions out. Maynard again involved in trouble after taking number 1 in qualifying over his speed. Gone from bad to worse. Maynard's second incident of the day. And the 69 drives up, gets in to another driver. That's Gary Steele he got into. The number 7 of James Burke also getting some damage. And for Maynard, it's his second wreck of the night. He looked poised to take the lead and start this race up in front, start the A-main up in front, but looks like tonight just hasn't been able to make that happen. That leaves Trevor Williams with a much better stint going right now. It'll be halfway down, halfway to go, and we go green once again. 7 laps remaining, coming to 6 this time by. Trevor Williams leads over James Gray. Gray in that number 76 has Brayton Kajewski not too far back. Brayton looked poised to win that first heat. It just didn't turn out for him. The problem, of course, being he got into the wall on the outside with only 3 laps to go. Self-inflicted error, and that means he's got to fight his way back. He still has a fair chance at winning this heat if we get it back going. Coming to 1 to green. Hopefully next time by as the field gets organized. Aaron Witham, the top 5 as well, that number 16. Triple-digit threat, Tanner Blue. High side of row 3, scored in 6th. We set it back up. Carson Cherry, tonight's sponsor for Cherry SimTography, runs in the mid-pack. Scored officially in just about the 7th position. Back and forth with all these guys going around for the yellow flags. Caution laps do not count. So that's the reason for some of the timing confusion here. But this is a green flag lap. This one will count. 6 laps to go. Trevor Williams up in front. He'll get a nice drive as everyone else tries to catch him back. Look at James Gray. Gray down low, but it doesn't work. Matter of fact, nearly wrecks. We're still green. 1 wiggles in the back. That's James Burke, but there's trouble in front. Big trouble. Aaron Witham among others. So, upper mid-pack after Gray wobbles. Aaron Witham, just piled up there. The 141 of Tanner Blue, Carson Cherry, and Witham all get to the outside, and they're inescapable. Caution's out again. Another simple incident. 5 laps to go. We're at a standstill once more. Trevor Williams has led every lap so far of this run. He now has in second Brayton Kajewski with a great chance to rebound for his previous mistakes. Green flag's out again. 4 laps to go. Trevor Williams now being chased hard by Brayton Kajewski. It's the closest Brayton's been all night long. Side by side, they're banging each other out of 3 and 4. Brayton can't stick it. Trevor Williams gets away on the outer groove. Brayton was there. You saw them door to door against each other. But it just didn't work there. Inside the cockpit for Brayton. Caution's out. 3 to go, coming to 2. And another pause on the action. Taking a look at the hit, and it's the all-white machine, not Mitchell Maynard. But it looks like this time by Tanner Blue getting a better look at it. Here's one more view of our most recent caution. Aaron Witham passing by. And it was Douglas Owens. So Doug Owens down to pit road. And he will call it for the B-Main. Automatically advancing to the next round. As he will be one of the 18 that have started either the consolation or locked in. But watch this. Owens loosen in. Quick safety yellow. And the caution flies again. 2 laps to go now. Trevor Williams against Brayton Kajewski. 1 lap to go. Coming up. White flags out. Brayton all over Trevor. He'll dive way low. Slide job up the track. Williams gets him. Short-term gain. Long-term loss. And Brayton can't make it happen. He'll finish 3rd. Trevor Williams over Quentin Murdoch. Brayton Kajewski, calm and collected, wins the fight. And just like that, your heats have ended. Drivers now have 5 minutes to prepare And with that, we'll be right back after some messages from your sponsors, including our race sponsor for tonight, SimTography. You're watching the 2025 Micro Madness Classic. We'll be right back after this and maybe even an interview from your pole sitter after these messages.
10 weeks. One champion. It all comes down to this. Brace yourself. 350 horses on a rampage. The Outlaw Dirt Series Sportsman Modifieds are coming to Shaggy TV. Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, the Sportsman Modifieds will roar to life across 10 of iRacing's amazing dirt tracks, starting at Lanier and ending at Oswego. You just gotta be there.
You feel the ground shake. Your bones begin to rattle. You hold on for dear life. 280 foot-pounds of torque is coming your way. It's the TFG Sport Compact Series, dropping 168 horsepower with 2 front wheels a squealing. Every night's a beatdown.
The TFG Sport Compact Series is coming back to Right Rear Racing on Friday, December 5th at 9 p.m. Eastern. Watch it live on YouTube with Right Rear Racing TV as the Jettis clash at historic Nashville Fairgrounds. 2 Fat Guys Sim Racing promotions, where the challenge remains me. SimTography, specializing in iRacing photography, has deals to suit all your needs. With deals like 5 for 10, 10 for 20, 15 for 30, and 20 for 60, you cannot go wrong. You can reach out to Carson Cherry 226 on Discord. That's CARSON Cherry 226.
Welcome back to the 2025 Micro Madness Classic. We've got ourselves a pole sitter. Can't get a word from him just yet, but the man at the starting grid's head will be Shane Pearson. Matter of fact, we'll try to bring up the starting grid for you here and tell you who exactly will be starting where. 18 drivers are going to be in your starting lineup, and as we mentioned, it will be Pearson at the head of them all. It's going to be Pearson on the top of the board. Then from there, Zachary Martin starts in second, Joseph Groom in third, Logan Rourke in fourth. These are your locked-in drivers you're looking at on your screen right now. Those are the 4 that will fight for victory. However, there's a lot more behind them, so let's go driver by driver and show you who exactly is starting where outside of the top 4. You'll have your 5th place man. That is Trevor Williams. Williams is going to start P5, as going 6th is Quentin Murdoch, the fastest man in warm-up so far. 7th place will be Brayton Kajewski. He's going to start there after finishing 3rd in that B-main. And James Gray goes 8th with 9th place, Michael Menes. Then you'll have Ricky Thompson in the 24 and 10th. 11th is Gary Steele. 12th is James Burke. And 13th is Mitchell Maynard. 14th place is Nicholas Molly, with 15th Carson Cherry. Aaron Witham 16th in the number 16. 17th Tanner Blue in the 141. And lastly, Douglas Owens, the final man in your starting lineup tonight. 18 drivers, all of which make it. And it's going to be up to Shane Pearson now to hold it down and try to win from the front of the field. Pearson was able to get away from a tight first heat, one that went back and forth so many times. He was the 3rd driver to lead in only 8 laps. First it was Maynard, then it was Kajewski, and Brayton looked poised to win. It didn't turn out that way, as he got in the wall with 3 remaining. Just like that, in fact. Zachary Martin led every one of his laps. He had no troubles there. 5th place is Trevor Williams. He won the B-main in the consolation race. So everyone's together again for our longest run of the night. It's not going to be too long, though, overall. It's only going to be 40 laps, which comes in at just about 8 miles long. That's right, only 8 miles, which means our heat races were only a single mile. Unbelievable. 25 seconds left on the clock. Pearson and company warming up. Quentin Murdoch, the fastest in this session, over Brayton Kajewski by just 33 thousandths of a second. Time running out. Kajewski cannot get that fastest time. It will be Quentin Murdoch, quickest in warm-up, with a fast time of 10.1. A 10.106 gets him up there. And Quentin tonight, of course, one of those who will be starting in our main feature. 6th place. He makes the cut. And so now we move on to our starting grid and get ready to fight 40 laps ahead of us. 40 laps or 40 minutes, whichever comes first as the field lines up and is ready to get things started. Second running of the Micro Madness Classic, and this one brought to you by our friends at Cherry SimTography and Two Fat Guys Sim Racing Promotions. If you're joining us as we get things started, your qualifying lineup has been set. Shane Pearson is on the pole position, and I'll be your host, David Kreutz, commentating and producing. Keys to this race: don't get in trouble, don't wreck. That'll be the biggest of deals. Now, the interesting thing is, the track is already worn. It started as a completely clean track in practice, but with all the warm-up and the racing that we've done, the grooves are already lined up. Watch out for Trevor Williams. He's been great on the outside line. Nobody's been able to beat him there so far. Shane Pearson has gotten away from trouble, and Zach Martin doesn't know what it's like to be in trouble just yet. That being said, it's about time that we charge the start-finish line. When the green flag drops and Barney the flagman waves it, it's sound on, race on, game on. 40 laps for one winner and bragging rights to begin the special event season here in Two Fat Guys Sim Promotions. Pearson, Martin, ready to grab a gear and get things started. We are underway from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Here we go. First lap already out of our way. It's going to be Shane Pearson with the bragging rights for lap 1. Side by side, further on back, there's Quentin Murdoch with Brayton Kajewski. James Gray, number 76, contact from the back end there. That's Michael Menny's coming up now as a little bit of a wiggle from the number 24 of Ricky Thompson. Everyone keeping it together in these opening portions. Mitchell Maynard with a lot to work through as he starts in the mid-teens. He's in 15th as he runs right now. Definitely not where he would like to be. But he had that opening speed and hot lap qualifying. Surely he'll be a top 5 contender at the minimum if things go his way. Joseph Groom up the track. He'll send the number 11 car. That was the 42 Quentin Murdoch doing the punching. Now these sprint cars, outlaw winged micro sprint cars as they are in iRacing, they are fast and hard to handle. Not only are they nimble, but they got a lot of power in them, hundreds of horsepower, and when you're dealing with that type of speed at a dirt track, your reflexes have to be tack sharp. Take a look inside the cockpit right now. Well, here's a look at the wheels as they work, and that suspension in the front is doing a lot of the heavy lifting. And take a look at the twitching right now with the hands for Quentin Murdoch and the way he's working that wheel. Well, for Murdoch right now, that is everything. Every turn requires precision and it requires focus. You cannot get away easy on one of these runs. And take a look at the high side. That's the number 17 of Logan Rourke. Logan looking to stay inside the top 5 here as Quentin Murdoch maintains 4th. 30 laps to go, first caution tonight, and it will involve Aaron Witham. Take a look at what happened here. Back of the field sees trouble. No change up in front. Aaron in the number 16. Oh, caught up with Maynard again. In 3 races tonight, Mitchell Maynard with not a lot of luck as the Kading Performance 69 gets caught in another driver's problem. 79 in the middle. Oh, just hooked from the number 2 car. So it began ahead of Maynard as they all cycle through again with Nicholas Molly. And Nicholas ends up sliding around and getting into Gary Steele. So the yellow flag flies. One more look from Nicholas there as he gets away. Well, he's got contact. Not a lot of damage with 30 laps to go. Back to business now. It's going to be Shane Pearson still leading with 29 laps remaining. Pearson up to the high side. Zach Martin now working to the bottom. It's side by side, and for the first time tonight, someone other than Pearson's got the lead. Martin, the B-Main winner. same fight for the lead as it was in the B main, as a matter of fact. Brayton Kajewski gets second. Shane right now relegated to the high side, and again, he is the epitome of patience. He did not win his first heat by being the fastest driver outright. He let everyone else fall into trouble, let the chips fall where they may, and that's how he got himself to the checkered flag. Zachary Martin passed by Kajewski. Brayton has made a few mistakes tonight, by all means. As you look at him right now, though, he is as smooth as he's been. The only problem for him in the A-main was he got in the wall off his own volition, lost the A-main thanks to that mistake. Now, coming up on lap traffic, he's either going to have to slow his roll or get lucky. Wow. That was Carson Cherry up to the high side of the track. And Cherry limping around right now, one lap down, and it looks like Carson's night is in the gutter. Brayton Kajewski, Logan Rourke, Zach Martin. 1, 2, 3 with 21 laps to go. Another caution, Aaron Witham. So the 16 looked to be in good shape alone. Just spun out. Luckily, not hitting anyone. And Witham escapes the track before further damage is accrued. Aaron Witham goes around spinning. Brayton Kajewski in the number 28 is advantageous. Brayton has led in every race he's been in tonight, led the A-main, and, of course, led the B-main, and led his heat. He only led the B-main for the better part of 3 or 4 seconds, though. So this is really the biggest test he's had. Lined up on the outside, Brayton is the control car as the iRacing pace truck goes green. They're double file again. Watch out for Zachary Martin. Martin again with another shot, and he's right behind Kajewski. He just can't get the proper launch. Halfway down, halfway to go. 20 laps remaining as Brayton up high gives Logan Rourke the shot in the arm. Logan Rourke leading. Something we have not done all night long. Of course, see the number 17 taking it to the top stop. And with this lead, 19 laps to go, more than halfway down, the pressure's more so on, but time is running out. Quentin Murdoch in 5th here. Oh, contact, and big contact further back, up and over. Owens gets away, and we've got trouble. Yellow flag is out. What was that? I think it was Michael Meanies. Michael with problems as you saw him flip up and over. Take a look. Caught, hooked, and a double somersault in the air. Take a ride on board with Michael. What was it like from his perspective? Looking from the cockpit camera on the number 30. Violent flip. Basically the night over too as he lands on his side. And Michael has to tow it to pit road. Luckily for him, caution laps do not count against the lap total, which means he'll have a little bit of time to tow it and get stuff repaired. His track is very small, which means he's not going to wait all too long towing. It's only 0.2 miles, so he should have been dragged back to pit road by now. Logan Rourke is the control car on the inside. This is going to be an interesting watch. As for the first time all night long, and with 16 laps to go no less, he's got the edge. Pace truck's in. Green flag's out. Getting the drop off is Logan Rourke. He's got the lead. Then from there is Martin. Then Brayton Kajewski. Nicholas Molly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, Logan Rourke goes off the track and comes right back up. Caution's out with 16 to go. And another leader with problems. Was this self-inflicted? I can't tell. Logan gets the drop on everyone. Nope, contact. Zach Martin just gets into Logan. That takes him up the track, and obliterated is the number 24 of Ricky Thompson. Ricky getting into the wall, and Logan from the lead falls into the mid-pack. 16 to go. If your favorite driver is still in this race, shout them out in the chat room below. FTN Broadcasting, if you like what you're seeing, you can subscribe and have unlimited chat room access. We'd love to know who is the favorite of this entire lineup. Zach Martin right now might be the favorite to lead as he holds the keys to the checkered flag 15 laps away from them. Zach Martin to the inside, and he will be given the penalty at fault for that wreck. Martin falls back. Brayton Kajewski, third. Now bumped up to first, and to his outside will be the pole sitter Shane Pearson again. Green flag's out, 15 laps remaining. Not at all a jump for Pearson. Brayton Kajewski beats them all by a long shot. 17 of Logan Rourke all the way down to the bottom of the track, nearly 3 wide, and with barely 3 grooves to work with. 14 laps to go. Ricky Thompson. Thompson gets it moving. Squirrely back and forth there. The 24 car gets away. Mitchell Maynard up to 8th. This is the highest spot he's been in all night long with 13 laps remaining. He was the fastest driver in hot lap qualifying. Fell out with a wreck in his heat race. Oh, a wreck for Maynard. Mitchell Maynard goes around again. And it looks like he went around on his own. He is squirrely on the outside, and that's exactly where he was. Just got caught up in the wall. A lot like Kajewski's incident in the heat. And Mitchell Maynard, all that progress gets turned back to nothing. 69 car drops it to the tail end of the field. Quentin Murdoch, P6 as we look at him here. Everyone getting lined up again. Brayton Kajewski in full control for another double file restart. 11 laps remaining. Jumping again. Nobody can touch Brayton. Nicholas, nice launch there. Shane Pearson stays in third, but look who's back. Logan Rourke. Logan having his own troubles, but it won't stop him. And now the 17 is back inside the top 3. Logan for second. Can't get there. 9 laps to go. Now only about a mile's worth of racing remains. 12 on the lead lap, going back to Mitchell Maynard. Doug Owens tries to slide it in there on James Burke. Can't quite. Logan Rourke is there to the inside now on Nicholas Molly for second. Very clearly, he's got what it takes. Logan in second with 7 laps to go. Caution's out, watch this. Michael Meany's around the incident. It was the 141 of Tanner Blue. Tanner with troubles. Watch this. And shot to the top of the track. Just like Maynard, if you get into that outside, the front and rear suspension, if you look at it closely, these cars have different places for their tires, and they're very different. The smaller front wheels, they find themselves up front, of course, and they're shifted to the left, to the inside of the camber of the track. The back tires and particularly the right rear bigger and closer to the outside wall. So you'll get caught at an angle. You get caught on the corners of the circuit, which means that you'll get ricocheted and turned into a carousel piece if you get spun around. Brayton Kajewski on a single file restart will be able to lead this one. Number 141 of Tanner Blue gets an end of line penalty for being involved in that wreck. Logan Rourke, one final chance with now 5 laps to go this time by. Logan is the closest anyone's been to getting that lead. Oh, contact! That's how he gets it. Brayton Kajewski turned around with 5 to go. And you know what that means. That means that the penalty is going to be handed to Logan Rourke. Nicholas Molly will take the race lead as Rourke with an end-of-line penalty for throwing around Brayton Kajewski. For the first time all night long, Brayton is not the man at fault there. I think that's a pretty flagrant penalty. And that's going to leave Nicholas Molly with the lead. And only 3 laps to go when we go at it. Four laps to go, coming to 3. Nicholas, Quentin, and notably, Shane Pearson is still in the fight, as is Trevor Williams. Trevor, who's been the best on the outside, might just get his revenge, perhaps. Out in the lead early. Laps to go. Already skating up the track and contacted Shane Pearson. Oh, Pearson goes around and big. Huge wreck, watch this. Wow, could you? And add to worse, watch. Somersaults, flips, and wow. Doesn't land on all fours after flipping and having a somersault all at once. That is unbelievable. Now Logan Rourke hoping for a second chance here. I don't know if there is the time to get it. We are coming to 2 laps to go now. Nicholas Molly leading the way. Back at it again. It's the number 2 car. Quentin Murdoch staying in second here. We come to the white. This race is official, and so we will. Nicholas Molly, by avoiding the trouble now, has only 4 turns to go. Quentin Murdoch nowhere in sight. One final drive won't be enough. Nicholas Molly wins the 2nd annual Micro Madness Classic. And madness it was. Avoiding the contact. Rourke and Kajewski. Nicholas takes it through the field and wins. Starting in 14th. In our main event, one of the final drivers to make it in, Nicholas is your champion from Tulsa, Oklahoma tonight. Definitely celebrating like a champion right here. Not going to burn it out, but definitely took it around the track a time or two. Checkered flag falls, your race results. Checkered flag falls, and Nicholas Molly wins over Quentin Murdoch in a great drive for the number 2. And interesting enough for Quentin, of course, driver who found himself further back in qualifying, and it all works out. Definitely that qualifying lineup not determining who won tonight. It was all about the best of the best in the racing moment, and that's what you saw right there. James Burke ends up finishing in 3rd, with Trevor Williams 4th, Douglas Owens P5, and Zach Martin 6th. Mitchell Maynard, for all intents and purposes, he ends up coming back. He finishes in 7th, with Shane Pearson then 8th, Brayton Kajewski 9th after troubles, and Tanner Blue, P10, with 11th, Michael Meanies and Ricky Thompson in P12. 13th place on the day, finishing off the night, that's Joseph Groom, with Logan Rourke, Carson Cherry, Aaron Witham, 17th, of Gary Steele, and James Gray, the last of your 18 drivers in our main event. And the winning man, Nicholas. Your podium will speak to all of them just after this. You're watching post-race coverage of the 2025 Micro Madness Classic. We'll return right after the following message.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Coming back for your top 3 interviews, and it's the 2025 Micro Madness Classic from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Cherry SimTography is crowned another winner, and tonight, well, you saw him there. From 14th on the grid to P1, Nicholas Molly gets the job done and finishes off strong. I'll tell you this much, interestingly enough, as we have the question in our chat room, from 14th to 1st, I believe Nicholas gains the most places of any one driver. 13 up on the day, which was only matched by 18th to 5th place in Doug Owens. So all in one for Nicholas, and it was not an easy fight by any means. But by avoiding trouble and staying with it to the last lap, tonight's winner, the number 2, Nicholas, welcome to the broadcast booth. What a win you got there.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely a big one there.
Now tonight, of course, it all came down to the qualifying process. You went through your heat. Didn't finish as well as you would have liked there, of course. You weren't able to lock yourself in anyway. And then you went to that B main and qualified 14th. So before we even get to the main race, were you confident in your stuff beforehand?
Man, I felt like I had a fast car, and I was telling my team, I was like, I just haven't had a way to showcase it. I felt like I was involved in almost every wreck that happened in front of me. I had nowhere to go. I felt confident, but on the other hand, I was like, if I don't have the luck, I was just like,
And all things considered, you mentioned it right there. Luck, a big factor for you tonight. You avoided those wrecks up in front, and even when the lead fight was right ahead of you, you kept your nose out of it. So was that your big plan? Just try to stay a little less aggressive than guys around you?
Yeah, honestly, it is. Usually I'm more of an aggressive driver, and I tend to find myself in the wrecks and stuff. And tonight I took a deep breath and figured out that slower is faster, and all in all, it brought me to the checkered flag.
And with that said, you're kicking off the special race season here at Two Fat Guys Sim Promotions with the first win of the season. Next race is coming up on the 28th of December. Going to be working with the Dirt Mini Stocks. Do you intend to come back and try to keep this championship fight going?
I have to now.
Well, pretty simple right there. Nicholas, if you have any final comments you'd like to leave as your race winner, the floor is yours.
I just want to thank all my sponsors, Napa Auto Parts in Maryville, Tennessee, J-Tech, Co-op Seed and Grain, Featherston Welding and Fabrication, Moley Chevrolet, and of course, the guys over at Infamous Raceworks.
Nicholas Molly with the checkered flag in our 40-lap feature here. And just like that, a winner in the Micro Madness run. Of course, the A-Main, all yours. Nicholas, thank you for stopping by, and best of luck in the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Nicholas goes P1 second. Quentin Murdoch tonight. Quentin started in the single digits, but not up there with the podium circle. Had to fight through the B-main to get here, and it looks like all works out for a podium. Quentin, the number 42 team, just one step off victory in the B-main and the A-main. Oh, so close. How'd you feel?
It was all right. I was just a little bit off, but it is what it is. It was a lot of fun to race with these guys.
And it was tight competition all the way at the front of the field. You found yourself working in the top 5 fight, I would say, for the majority of the night there. I want to talk a little bit with you specifically about the grooves here. High side, low side. What did you think was the preference for you in the field?
I was really running the bottom. I couldn't find anything up on the top. Everyone was up on the top at the beginning, and I found a lot of ground at the start, and that really helped me. But everyone migrated to the bottom, and it made it real rough.
And we saw changes at the very end. Some drivers were trying to stick with that high side, but it looks like you went well with the flow with the tail end there. So, interestingly, of our top 10, actually, of our entire field, it looks like you're the only driver that didn't have an incident point on our side. Is that correct for you? Wow.
Is that true?
That's what we're looking at here. You, according to our numbers, have no incident points. So you kept yourself the cleanest nose of anyone and still finished second.
Not bad at all.
Well, with that being said, the principle is going to carry on. We have dirt races coming up next month, dirt mini stocks for race 2 on the season, and it looks like you've been able to avoid trouble so far. Are you going to try to avenge and go for a win next month?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to race as many as I can, with stuff I got going on in life. But we'll see if I can keep it up.
Well, an exciting start to your season, Quentin, the 42 team, second on the day. If you want to sound off with some final shout-outs, all yours from here.
I don't got many people to thank, man. I just want to thank everyone for putting this on, the production you guys run, and the whole league.
Quentin Murdoch in the number 42, P2 on the day. He goes clean with no incidents and a second-place finish. Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
With Murdoch on the way, last man on the podium. Your podium drivers in total only racked up 6 incident points on the day. Nicholas with 4, Quentin with 0, and James Burke with 2. James coming away after finishing off the B-main in 8th, climbs 5 places higher, and overall goes 12th to 3rd. In the main feature, James avoiding the trouble, outlasting carnage, and doing a pretty good job for yourself to kick off the season.
Yeah, I can honestly say thanks to Carnage to everybody, because that definitely helped me get to the field pretty quick. I think at one point I watched 4 guys wreck in front of me, and I went from 10th to 5th or something like that. So it was pretty entertaining. It was good racing though. I'm happy the damage was off. That's for sure.
And you mentioned, fast repairs weren't even a question, just was the damage that popped you guys up back and forth. But you didn't have to worry about that too much. Only 2 incident points for you, it appears. And you kept yourself out of all the trouble. You started outside the top 10. Were you hesitant to make the moves up early? Were you eager? Can you walk us through that process?
Early on, yeah, I kind of just said, told myself I was going to take it easy. I knew that there was going to be carnage early on, so I thought to myself, I'm just going to stay chill. And then once I started seeing myself work my way up there, I started passing guys, and I kind of held my own around like 7th and 8th, and I think that was about midway through. And again, because of carnage, I went from that position to wherever I finished now. So
holding steady, did all the work for you there, of course. And it looks like just like that, podium to start the season. Now, we got a lot of races ahead of us here when it comes to the special events over the course of the next few months. Getting our first test here at one of our shortest tracks. It's only 0.2 of a mile. Do you change the way you race? And this is a general comment. We got a lot of dirt races up on our schedule. Is racing at the Chili Bowl any different from those outdoor tracks that are a little longer?
For sure. The small track, a lot of people are not good at short track. Myself, I consider myself a short track specialist. So these smaller tracks are definitely where I'm good. The longer tracks, we'll see. I think the racing's gonna be much better in the longer tracks because we're gonna be more spread out, and it's not gonna be this tight, close quarter combat type of thing. So I think it's gonna be good racing once we get into the bigger tracks for sure.
And now, we can only go bigger from here, but a great way to start the season. James Burke, P3 on the day from the virtual Chili Bowl. Any final comments you'd like to leave us with?
Yeah, shout out to my guys, Gary and James and Andrew. Gary was in it. He ended up retiring early, and James, he did a couple laps that he doesn't want to do, and he's going to spot for me. And Andrew, after he got wrecked out somewhere in the future too, he ended up helping me out too. And it was big shout out to those guys for keeping my head down. So other than that, shout out to the guys in the league at Two Fat Guys, and then you for putting on the broadcast.
James Burke wrapping up the top 3 today from Tulsa, Oklahoma, taking 3rd from 12th on the A-Main grid. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And a quick race that came down to avoiding all the trouble. For James Burke and Quentin Burnock, only 2 incident points across the both of them. But for Nicholas Molly, it just came down to Kajewski and Logan Rourke. Their contact at the end of the race made all the difference in going from 3rd to 1st and shifting up the podium and winning to start the Two Fat Guys special event season with a bang. A win like that will set the table for our next race, which is a month away. That's going to be December 28th. So we got a little bit of time until that point at the Millbridge Speedway with the Dirt Mini Stocks. It's the Mini Stock Showdown, and this is our only race of the season that is open setup, which means the drivers can bring anything they want to the table, and you might see some drivers with a clear advantage, but tonight it showed who was the best driver, Nicholas, by and large. Thank you for tuning in to coverage from the virtual Chili Bowl Raceway in Tulsa, Oklahoma. From the 2nd annual Micro Madness Classic, you've been watching coverage of the Two Fat Guys special event series brought to you by Cherry SimTography. I've been your host, David Kreutz, commentating and producing. If you enjoyed tonight's coverage, leave a like on the stream, subscribe to the channel. We'll be bringing you a lot more dirt action over the coming months, and it begins tonight with a huge run here at the Chili Bowl. Thank you for tuning in. Congratulations to Nicholas Molly on his first win of the season and a big victory from 14th on the grid. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you have a fantastic night.
10 weeks. 1 champion. It all comes down to this. Brace yourself. 350 horses on a rampage. The Outlaw Dirt Series Sportsman Modifieds are coming to Shaggy TV. Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, the Sportsman Modifieds will roar to life across 10 of iRacing's amazing dirt tracks. Starting at Lanier and ending at Oswego. You just gotta be there. Cherry SimTography, specializing in iRacing photography, has deals to suit all your needs. With deals like 5 for 10, 10 for 20, 15 for 30, and 20 for 60, you cannot go wrong. You can reach out to Carson Cherry 226 on Discord. That's CARSON Cherry 226.
You feel the ground shake. Your bones begin to rattle. You hold on for dear life. 280 foot-pounds of torque is coming your way. It's the TFG Sport Compact Series, dropping 168 horsepower with 2 front wheels of squealing. Every night's a beatdown.
The TFG Sport Compact Series is coming back to Right Rear Racing on Friday, December 5th at 9 p.m. Eastern. Watch it live on YouTube with Right Rear Racing TV as the Jettis clash at the historic Nashville Fairgrounds. 2 Fat Guys Sim Racing promotions, where the challenge remains unique.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Boundless makes its presence felt. It will not be ignored. We're helping turn ideas into reality with a wealth of building products that take every architectural style to the next level. This is what it's like to imagine, build, and transform anything we want into exactly what we seek. This is what it means to be boundless.
Welcome to the Underdog Racing Podcast, where we talk to NASCAR drivers from all over the great country of America. Each week, we chat about the latest races, share stories from the track, and get to know the drivers behind the wheel. We break down the action, hear from drivers about their experiences, and dive into what drives them to keep racing. Whether you're a longtime NASCAR fan or just curious about the sport, this is the place for you. So tune in to the Underdog Racing Podcast, your inside look at the world of NASCAR. Catch us every Wednesday at 6:30 Eastern.
This message is brought to you by the rebrand of Throttle Graphics and Designs. This publication may not be reposted without the authorized written consent of Throttle Graphics and Designs. NASCAR Camping World Ford F-150. NASCAR Xfinity Ford Mustang. NASCAR Cup Series Next-Gen Ford Mustang. Arca Menards. This has been the publication of the redesign and rebranding of Throttle Graphics and Designs. This message may not be reposted, republicated, or rebroadcasted without the authorized written consent of Throttle Graphics and Designs. Thank you, and thanks for your time.